Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So Mad Max was asking about the video I made with Davison. I made a Davison videos, kind of showed how to make ALY miss your peltasts or your front attackers. Since that's generally what you want to do, those guys up front are going to do probably more damage than your frost archers and the rear attackers and stuff like that. So a lot of people want to keep ALY from hitting their peltasts and their damage dealers up front. So I made those last ones with, I made one with Chion and one with Davison, but he was asking about SEONDEOK. And I think it's a little bit different for each hero just because of the different bonuses that the heroes give, like speed bonuses or attack speed or just different things like that can have a slightly different effect on the troops or whatever. So generally, I'm guessing if people are using SEONDEOK versus ALY, it's not a bad idea to do a split stone golem one. However, if you don't do the split stone golems allow you to put in more peltasts, I believe. So we're just going to give this one a go here right now and see how this one does. Okay, you'll notice that I got really good forward push with the peltasts and separation as well there. So once again, with the split stone golems, what it does is generally it's kind of splits your guys up into maybe a couple. Well, it depends on what the enemy has there. So if the enemy has a single stone golem there, like this ALY does, then they can kind of bunch up on that one, which you saw there, and ALY took it. So this looks like a 50-50 there. Okay, there's a couple things that you can do to fix this problem. And we'll do a split stone golem and we'll do a different one as well. So here we go. Now one thing that you can do, since ALY generally nukes where the greatest concentration of troops is, so either you can eliminate some of your peltasts, maybe pull some out. Generally, man, it's tough to get away with 9. 10, you're pushing it as far as peltasts, I believe, as a general rule. I'm not saying there aren't some forms out there that you can do it with, but yeah, usually 8 is about where you want to be, but it depends on different forms as well. I'm just saying in general. So what we're going to do here is we're going to increase our 9 load in the back. All right, and one way you can do that is just, you can add nuns or you can add voodoo dolls. They do a good job of kind of bunching up and adding to that 9 load. Remember, your pirate ships only count as 1 back there as ALY sees them until they throw the ship. So I haven't messed with my front line at all, and we've just increased our back load there, and we'll test this one out now. Okay, what else is important also is the amount of separation you get from your troops. So this has obviously a lot of push forward, and the further you can separate your peltasts from your other group, there you're basically forcing ALY to pick who she's going to nuke. Okay, so that seemed to work out a little better. And we'll try it again, so since we're just testing on the nukes. So one thing the split stone golem does is, you can see it forces your opponent to come after. These guys are going towards this stone golem, and these guys are going towards this stone golem. So that means these guys are going to go forward. So generally, especially if we have these guys, they're going to push this guy straight back into the line, okay? These guys are all going out to the sides here, so your guys can advance forward, and that's where you see that big push and big separation. So separation is pretty key here as far as you want that push back away. All right, now if you don't have split stone golem, right, but you're going with maybe a single stone golem SEONDEOK. And we'll run this and see how this one goes here. Now this is going to cause your troops to kind of get bunched up a little bit. So still miss the Peltast. SEONDEOK has a nice attack damage boost at the first, and they can get some good pushback in there. So that one hit there. We'll try it again here. Missed them again, so this one seems to do pretty good at getting the avoiding that. All right, also this particular ALY, if you run against, say, someone that's got like 3 stone golems in there, I think it's going to be a little different, but we'll see if the pushback is about the same or not. See the separation. Now note the separation between the troops there. So as long as you get your Peltasts are alive, you have a pretty good chance. You get a good push forward, and even though all my guys in the rear got wiped out, generally gives you a fighting chance if you get your Peltast going and then you get your other guys rocking. Okay, so this one here, it seems to have a decent ability to get into the heart of ALY. Okay, and so I do like this. You'll see a lot of guys with Davison, they'll do this back row pretty much. I think SEONDEOK, if I'm not mistaken, has a better pushback than Davison. So if we throw Davison in here, I think we'll get less of a pushback than with SEONDEOK, but we'll take a look. That was pretty decent separation there, actually. But yeah, see how they got, the guys kind of got stopped though. Dang it, stinking Davison hit my ALY. Don't want you to interrupt ALY. He's going to do it every single time now, isn't he? This is insane. Come on, this is... I'm trying to make a video here, Davison. If you want to cooperate, that'd be great. Oh my gosh, dude. All right, here we go. Stop. Oh my... Okay, ALY, get on the other side there. Okay, now can we get a nuke to come down here? Okay, so it's a little bit different aspect. You'll notice that the pushback wasn't as great there. They just kind of ran into a wall with Davison because he doesn't have that massive damage boost that SEONDEOK gives those guys in the first part, and generally they can just steamroll people. So one for Davison, you really have to load up. Oops. For Davison, you really have to load up on the rear in order for SEONDEOK to miss, or for ALY to miss. So I'd have to put pretty much all nuns right here on this row, like 5 nuns, maybe another frost archer here and here, in order for that to work. But with SEONDEOK, she's got a little bit different of a pushback, and you can see that she really gets into that into the space there, and those guys really just this wall of damage right here generally just pushes everyone. See, they're already all dead in the front, so it's pretty crazy the amount of damage that SEONDEOK just throws forward in there. So if you are still taking the hit in the front, there's a couple things you can do. One is lighten your Peltast load. All right, so say you got, what do I got, 7? I got 9 here. Generally, like I said, as a rule, 8's pretty good. You could pull a guy out there. If you want to try to maintain your Peltast, let's try to increase this actually to 10 and see how if we can do that here or not. Okay, so 10 was a no-go. ALY's like, no, you're not going to pull 10 Peltasts on me. But let's mess around here. We might be able to pull out a couple Orc Hunters and throw some nuns in there and see if that will balance it out here. So here we go. And that was a no-go on that one. So like I said, it's tough to put 10 in there. We could try splitting them up a little bit maybe, and that way it makes two groups that probably going to come into a smaller group, but maybe they'll be a little bit more spread out, but it doesn't really look like it there. So that did work a little bit. So there's a couple of things you can do there, like splitting up your peltasts and instead of having them all in the middle, it actually just creates that much of a little bit of a kind of like two separate groups. So you got guys coming in from here and in here instead of like I had like that in the middle or whatever. So these guys there's a bigger bunch here and these guys kind of come over. So I think with this, with 10, you're kind of pushing it so you can separate these guys a little bit. That gives you a little bit of an advantage, but even then, it's difficult to pull off 10 peltasts. We could even do something like this and separate the groups a little bit more, and we'll see how that does. So you got the two separate groups maybe coming in from either side. It tends to spread them out a little bit, and there you go. We have the miss there. So that might not be 100% on that one though. Something you got to mess with in training and see how that works for you guys. But generally making two separate groups that kind of come in does lessen the concentration. But that's what I said, like maybe a 50-50 on that. So say you think, man, I really want 10 peltasts in there. It's difficult to get those on there. What you can do is maybe try to get that pushed back a little less, so you can put some pirates in front of your nuns there, and that can hold up. Those pirate ships I think are actually slower than nuns, if that's possible. But also if they throw their ships beforehand, you're looking for trouble here. So we're gonna have a hard time getting ALY not to nuke them. We could maybe pull out this Frost Archer, put in that, maybe put in a couple of Orc Hunters, and we'll give that one a go, see if that does it, because the Sacred Swordsman can add a little bit to that. So we got the 5 nuns there. That's really good at holding back the line. See that tight group here, and missed all our peltasts there. So that's what we want. I wonder what the actual, if that's a 50-52, or are we looking at, it's going to be a regular thing where they're going to miss those guys. See how the pirate ships throw their ships there too at the end? That can, right before ALY shoots, that can be a kind of a deal breaker. So if you have pirate ships at the front and they're throwing their ships where your peltasts are, that's going to add to that peltast load. So sometimes you'll see some Davisons and they have peltasts up on the front corners behind the Magic Apprentices. And then those, when they throw their ships, they actually add to that peltast number and they get nuked up front. So just something to be cognizant about. So this one seems to work really well, whether with Davison or whatever, but I'm pulling 10 peltasts. Any more than that, and it's really difficult for ALY not to hit them. I've run into a few Davisons that have, I think they have like 16 or something like that, but it's pretty crazy. But this is a standard one. If you don't have Frost Archers, guys, you can use Taurus Witchers, TWs, not WTs. And then, man, the nuns are pretty essential here. And you can substitute, I believe, let me try this. I believe we can put in Goblikazis because they're still 9-load troops, depending. Let's see if this works. But they do blow up rather quickly, so it just depends there. So that did work out, and I'm not sure if ALY's initial trigger is is the 9 load she sees right away, or is it after they do their thing? Because those blew up and then she still hit back there. But watch this. If we put a couple of ships back here, everyone likes their pirate ships in the back there. We'll see what happens here. Okay, still hit them. Those nuns make a tight group there. What about if we go some stone golems? Okay, well, looks like we got this one dialed in. Maybe it's just that cluster of nuns, yeah? Maybe that's the ticket there. Okay, so, well, there's one way to find out, yeah? What if we just don't have any backline at all? Boom, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. Surely she, oh yeah, that's okay. But you guys get what I'm talking about though. So it's easy just to mess with this. Kind of like that back line of like a bunch of pirate ships. And that's the best way, is just get yourself a decent alley form and then try different things with it, you know. The 10, I don't know if I would like the 10. 10 can be consistent in the training perhaps, but when you take it to the arena, since arena is a little bit different than the training, maybe it's not going to react the same way for you. Because heaven knows I've spent hours building a form that just rocks everything, and then I take it into the arena and just absolutely get murdered. So it's kind of a tough thing there. But yeah, that's generally what I do. I'll just mess with it. The 7 range back here with the 5 nuns in front of that. If you don't have the nuns, any range back there. If you don't have the nuns to hold these back, you can put in pirate ships. I don't really like undead soldiers back here because they're so fast. They tend to run up there and add to the Peltas form. By the time ALY does her nuke, they're already up here. And so, especially on the outsides, you maybe can get away with it on the insides here. But that's just something to experiment with. So these can be frost archers, they can be Taurus witchers, they can be archers. These can be nuns. You probably get frost archers up here too, but because they are faster, I would probably have to go with, say we did have frost archers here. I'm thinking that more than likely it's going to hit. Where are my boos? There we go. More than likely, it's going to hit the front just because the frost archers are moving up there. And there you have it. So your frost archers and Taurus witchers are going to be a little faster. So if we pull those out and we put in some ghost assassins, let's see how that nets it for us. So when we have 8, that group in the back should be bigger a target, and it is. So that's just reality there with the frost archers. They're a little bit faster than the nuns, and so the nuns, they don't get that separation or whatever. So the 8 Peltas are good, and that's what it is there. So you can, it's probably different if you have different amount of, if you go with 3 stone golems or something like that also here. Your pushback isn't probably going to be as good because the stone golems kind of get in the way. So you see they kind of stopped right there. So that's something you guys are going to have to experiment with as well. So I just take different scenarios. 3 stone golems, your guys bunch up more behind the stone golems, and they don't get that much of a push because these guys are slow. And so they kind of, instead of with 1 everyone just kind of runs by and they kind of get up there faster, and that means your peltasts get up there faster. So these guys are slow, so you got the slow guys walking up, all three of them, and that they don't close the distance as fast, and so these guys get stuck up behind them, and these guys get stuck up behind them, and because of that, your frost archers are like, hey, I'm going to get in the action, and they do, and ALY nukes them all. So that's what that, just with got to be cognizant of the different forms and how can it affect you. So you can't just take one stone golem and be like, oh, one stone golem's rocking, and I'm just gonna, maybe 3 will work better for me, or whatever, and just roll that into the arena without experimenting on it. So I hope this has been kind of a useful video, and it's just with any guys you are using, you can experiment and try different things, but generally, as a rule, the 7 on the second row is usually a really good thing. If you do have the nuns for it, 5 here is really good, and the 5 voodoos and 2 pirate ships. They have cannons on them, but they're pirate ships. Can be really good for that. And some people put like a couple frosties here too, if you have them, or whatever, or range, any kind of ranges. But you can get away with 10 peltasts. It just takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of finagling, and I'm not sure if the 10 really make that much of a difference, if it's worth it being a 50-50 shot for you. I see a lot of Davisons I come up against, and they got 10 peltasts in there, and well, I mean, if you pull out, let's just do it. If you pull out your guys there and have your peltasts on the side, something like this, I think you can get away with 10, I believe, because maybe. Not with these, though. We're going to have to go with the nuns, I believe, for 10. Here we go. And I'm speaking to the fact that, oh, wow, ALY is saying no, not for those guys. So actually not sure why that's not working, because the 10 at this way was without these guys, so maybe it just creates that little bit of extra distance or whatever, but it can be finicky on certain things. So there, it's just more of a push, I think, is what it was. Because with the cannons in, with the pirate ships here, your peltasts are kind of stuck behind that pirate, and so those ones trying to get there are adding to that mass that ALY sees in her target area or something like that. So I believe that is why that is the case. So I've kind of droned on quite a bit, and I hope this has been helpful. Thanks to Mad Max for the question. Yeah. If you guys got any questions or comments or something you want me to make a video on, I like doing it. It's fun. Sometimes I forget. I know there's a couple people that asked me and I want to make a video on it, and I made screenshots of what they asked and then I forgot. So if I did that to you, I'm sorry. It's not my intention. Sometimes I get busy, and sometimes I don't have time to make anything but my regular, like my daily video or something like that. But I appreciate the comments, guys. We're going to be having a live stream coming up. I have over 700 million coins, so probably around Friday the 27th I'm kind of shooting for. I'll have a specific date for you guys sooner, but I'm probably going to be doing a live stream after the arena, just spending all my coins, and we just hang out and chat and whatever. So I think that'd be a fun thing. See how many of the new troops I can get. So that'll be cool. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I hope it helped out. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If not, then thumbs down, I guess. And subscribe. And I put out a daily arena video with where I do my battles. and other content as I think it is necessary or useful. I don't really hide anything with my forums, pretty much an open book. So if, I'm not the best player out there, but I think I do okay. So yeah, thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for watching the videos, guys. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time.